Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sport. A very special episode. It's our 300th video since starting July 31st, 2 years ago. So, just want to, thank everyone for making this possible. And of course, today we're going to have a nice laid back, rock back episode. But of course, sprinkle with a bit of urgency because tomorrow is deadline day, is match day, and I'm joined here by Gabe from aka FPL Lens of Net.Hall. Gabe, welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here on this momentous day, 300th episode. Look at you. You keep going at this rate, and you're going to catch up to The Simpsons. They're like 34 seasons or whatever. So keep up the good work, my friend.
Hey, thanks very much, bro. Appreciate that. Now, for anyone that is living under a rock, that is in the ocean, let them know what Net.Hall is, please, because everyone should know what Net.Hall is. You were nominated for the Video Awards last season as well, 2 nominations. So let them know what Net.Hall is and what you'll do on the show.
Yeah, so Net That Hall is a show that at FPL Mariner on Twitter, and I do. We started it in January of 2019, maybe. It's been about 3 years. And every year of our existence, we're a small show, we're definitely not those hundreds of thousands of those big YouTube shows, but we're a small kind of, I guess, a niche or boutique show. So we've been nominated for an award despite being small 3 years running. So every year we've been in existence, we've been nominated for this award. Maybe this year we'll win it, the Football Content Awards.
Yes.
And we do, and this was Mariner's kind of like brainchild here, and he brings the stats. He taught me a lot of what I know about stats, and I brought the eye test, and our idea is to kind of like find some common language or some common ground between those things and understand how our perspectives change how we weight those things. Some people will weight stats more and others will weight eye test more, and that's just provides a different lens into analyzing the game.
Yeah, and they have it. So of course, guys, I'll put a link in the description. They have a nice series going on now where they're roasting people's team. I would have done something like that with you gave UK on when we roasted my team. Right? So they're roasting some of the other fellow FPL managers' teams. So check it out. Very good episode. It was this week. We had a recent one yesterday. Right? Yesterday it was a recent one there. So check it out. Nice series.
20 hours or so.
Yeah, nice series there where they're roasting some of the FPL manager teams. And of course, we had a shout out Nima. Big up Nima all the time too. Features on the show as well. Fellow Arsenal fan. Have to shout him out. So
yeah, so Nima does all of our all the machine of making everything work. That's Nima. He makes sure our wheels are turning and everything's greased and ready to go. Couldn't do it without Nima.
Yeah, lagging over. Yeah, so what we're gonna do straight, very simple. We're gonna try, and this is my team here, Gabe. Now, Gabe, as you know, Gabe, I am. People like to call me differential boss and all kind of different things. Javid, our good friend Javid, likes to call me Obia, Mr. Obia, because sometimes I pick some very interesting names, but they always come up trumps lenses. You've seen it for yourself. Of course, I would like to look back at as you're talking about Nima, Cody, right? The best defense center back a few years ago.
Is me the new Cody? Is that me?
Oh well, right. That's a very good point. We never know. That is. I like that shout. We even have Backstrom as well. He's a good option as well. But let's before we dive into all of that, Gabe, looking at my team, first glance, thoughts, holds, concerns, right? Be as abrasive as possible, right? No sugarcoating. What would
Okay.
you do differently here? Formation, everything.
How dare how dare you show up to play without a proper kit? What is this kit?
I did
You're
not pick
playing in your
that yet.
underwear. Obviously, you showed up to play in your underwear. So that's my first roast of you, Gerard. Is you're not dressed, my friend. You have to get dressed. You have to put
Yes,
your colors on.
agreed.
Right. So first criticism. um, well, let's start at the back. I think Onana's an obvious pick and goal. The fixtures look good. He's
Mhm.
like United defense are so highly owned between Onana and Shaw that it's nice to have some coverage there. Good representation. Um, so moving to the back line, I mean, I don't have Trent in any of my tinkers, but I
Right.
certainly wouldn't put you off Trent. I wouldn't put you off him at all. That's a pick that I wouldn't criticize anybody for. I would just say I think I don't believe in Liverpool's defense yet, and if you don't believe in the
Mhm.
defense, I would rather use that money in a player that's more involved in the attack. But if you do believe in the defense, then that's a fantastic pick.
Right.
That's what I'll say. The one thing for Trent and Liverpool in general, a lot of people might be thinking that game week 2 against Bournemouth, everybody wants some representation of Liverpool in that game. I don't expect teams that play. I expect teams that play against Bournemouth to score a lot, but I don't expect them to keep many clean sheets.
Clean
Bournemouth
sheets,
is going
correct.
to attack and score.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
think Bournemouth scores at least one goal, maybe two in that game. Um, Ben Mee is a terrible pick. He's 5 million too, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
he's 5 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk. You need to explain yourself. Why Ben Mee over? Let's just go with a template. An Arsenal defender, for example, Saliba.
Well, my main thing is, I have a rule. I don't normally pick Arsenal players in the first, or too many, I should say, in the first 3 game weeks. I'm
Hmm.
always very cautious. Now, yes, we're looking good and all that, but I think we could concede against Nottingham. I know people, because I have a bit of PTSD from what it was only a month ago when we played them and we lost, right? But my reasoning for me one, I'm watching Tottenham. They may not have a striker. They may have Richarlison or Son rotating. And me sometimes has some decent goal output, decent for his price point
Hmm.
and the team that he plays for. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at goal scoring centre backs. If you told me Gabriel from Arsenal, then maybe I might have been more inclined because he scores. He comes up with some trumps goals here. And he was the highest scoring centre back first, right, last season. So I'm more looking at
Hmm.
those kind of centre backs. That is my reasoning. I hope that is a reasonable defense of me.
So, well, do you expect? Let me ask you this: do you expect Spurs to score on Brentford?
I don't know. I'm not feeling well. I mean, no Raya. So I think that now has me a bit skeptical. The no Raya, right? So I am willing to switch up and maybe swap him out. I am willing only because of that. Because this was before Raya, right? So that's the point of this show, right? To now tinker and refine
Hmm.
and fine tune, right? So I was a bit more confident when Raya was on the scene, but now that there's no Raya, yeah, if I was at 80, maybe drop now to 70, maybe 70. Because Raya, let's be real, Raya was one of the main strongholds of that defense as keeper. So
Yeah, and also not having Tony hurts them defensively as well
yeah,
because
yeah.
they don't have that quick outlet that can receive a long ball. So I just think that if you look at I don't know what Brentford's fixtures are
I
like.
have it here on my
I think you can do
side
better
here.
with Gabriel with Forest at home, Fulham at home in their
Crystal
first
Palace,
three.
yeah, Yeah.
Crystal
Because
Palace
it's just
away. I
really
bet Arsenal will
away.
concede.
Yeah,
It's Crystal
yeah,
Palace away, you know. But two clean sheets at home isn't out of the question for Arsenal in
okay,
those. And if you look at Brentford, right? Let's see. Spurs, Fulham away, then Palace home, and then Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth they concede. Palace, I think Palace can score. I think they concede there. And Fulham, I don't
yeah.
like the fact that it's away. And then Spurs are the I like the fixtures much more for Arsenal, and I think Arsenal right now they're a more complete team than Brentford are. I think Brentford they're still looking to sign this Argentinian kid from Fiorentina, Nicolas Gonzalez. If they sign him, he's basically a Tony replacement. So then I think
Right.
Brentford change a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you can do better than me.
Well, all right. Let's fix it one time. As I said, this is the show. We are tinkering. We are fixing. I'm
Tinker
listening as
time.
well too. Right, tinker and chill. Right, as we put in the title there. So all right. So we're getting rid of me. By me. That hurts. But
Good, let's get rid of me. Yeah, and
all
then
right.
which defenders do you like? Why don't you bring up those defenders and we can see like maybe there's one that you like. Maybe you don't want to go the template Gabriel pick. Maybe you're looking for
No,
something different.
I'm not super opposed to it, right? I'm not super opposed to it because eventually, no, again too, it depends on the formation that I would like to use as well. I'm not opposed to a 3-5-2, right? Because a lot of midfield options, and I think I would like to go very hard on the midfield. So I'm not opposed to a 3-5-2. So, but again, very tricky with Trent, with Stones, with Trippier. I could always downgrade Trent and get someone else to beef up in the attack, things like that. So there's a lot of room. So I don't mind. I don't mind going for the Gabriel for now. You can think of Gabriel for now. What are you gonna say, Gabe?
Okay. I mean, I was gonna say if you wanted to to reinvest some funds, for example, Trippier. If you look at Trippier's initial fixtures, I mean, they're not great, and his the increase in price for him has been pretty extreme, up to
Yes,
six
I
five.
agree. I agree.
So if you just click on the info there and look at his fixtures and see if you want to start the season with
Well,
Trippier or not,
what
that's a
well,
question you might want to ask yourself.
I'm looking at it using Premier Tools right now, and yeah, it
Hmm.
is very dicey because it's Villa, City, Liverpool, Brighton, Brentford, and then Sheffield in game week 6. So there's no reprieve until game week 6. Now, of
Right.
course, fixtures mean don't always go according to code, but that's enough to deter anybody. It is scary. But I, of course,
You could bring
Trippier.
Trippier down to a 4.0 and get 2.5 million into your midfield or something if you wanted to.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Do it. See, a different Jared this
Um,
season, Gabe. A different Jared. Because normally I'll be like, all right. So now the
I,
problem with the
hey,
4.0 is,
I wouldn't have been yeah. So I'll just tell you, I have Cabaret. He's probably the most attacking from Luton.
Luton. My only problem with Luton is that they're blanking game week 2. I wanted some Luton
You don't
assets.
need him in game week 2. You're not
Yeah, I
gonna need
know.
him in game
Yeah,
week 2.
yeah. Because with that logic, I will
But
bring in Barry and Adebayo and be very happy. Because I'm marking Barry and Adebayo very high.
yeah, any 4-0, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna
Yeah,
use this player.
yeah, correct.
Um,
Right, so there we have it there. Nice. Gabriel, Estepinian, Trent, Stones. Now, of course, if I'm playing, now this influence the formation. I could always go 4-4-2, bench Anderson.
mhm.
We could bring in, I was looking at this guy from Brighton, João Pedro. What's your thoughts on João Pedro, Gabe?
Oh, he has not left any of my drafts since July 11th. He's been in my team for almost a month. Yeah, exactly a month.
Yeah. Quick
Uh,
question,
uh,
yeah. Big up Naldo, one
yeah,
of our good friends here. Yeah, asking about Timber. Good question, Gabe.
yeah. A good player. Good question. I think it's wait and see, right? I think we have
Yes.
some other he's so versatile. He can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play in the center, he can do so many things from so many different places that I do think he'll be a very important piece. I just don't know what that rotation looks like yet. Um, it would make like I don't know. I don't know. There are so many things he could do with Timber. He could move Zinchenko into the double pivot with Jorginho if he wants to pair those two up, or with Partey, or so I don't know. He's kind of a wait and see for me. It's a shame he didn't come in at 4-5.
Yeah.
Then he would have been like because then you could take that risk on. But I think for 5 point at that price, go for the safer option in Gabriel or Saliba.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, fully agree on that. But definitely one to watch. After game week 3, I say, yeah, once he's looking steady and locked on, I say get him. For sure, for sure. Yeah. I have no problem with Timber. But as you rightly said, there are better options right now.
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead, keep poking the holes, game. Keep poking the holes. Now, I myself looking. So let's now. Let me look at.
Do you know what formation do you want to play? Do you
So
know?
ideally, it's between 3-5-2 or 4-4-2.
Okay.
But 4-4-2,
So
I think, will be way easier with this right now.
So far, yes, but then see what sacrifices you have to make in midfield to play that 4-4-2. So why don't we go to the second forward? Get that one out of the way.
All right, no problem. Well, I say so most templates have Watkins and João Pedro. Now, if we're looking at the fixtures which we've been using so far, I will obviously Brighton fixtures are not that bad as compared to Villa, right? They have Luton, Wolves, then West Ham. And then it gets a little tricky, Newcastle, Man U, and then Bournemouth. So not too bad at all. Villa have Newcastle, Everton, Burnley, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Chelsea. So it's a mixed bag, right? But obviously the best shout. I will and Villa have been looking pretty decent. I don't like using preseason, Gabe, as a gauge, but for some reason this season, most of the preseason games I've been watching the players, they have been looking good and been building me to a bit of confidence. And João Pedro look really good. Look really, really good. I don't know what's your thoughts.
Do you believe he starts? Some people don't believe that he's nailed. Some people believe that there will be a rotation there.
Yeah. But I think he starts. I think he's nailed. I think he's very much nailed because he's penalties. João Pedro's penalties. João Pedro is Mr. Penalties for Brighton. Yeah.
So if you think he's nailed, I think you have to get him.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. All right. We'll jump in now just now. All right. Well, we get rid of Archer. All right. Those are just
Archer actually. Buendia went down, so Archer might get time. Actually, Mubama might get time.
Yeah, that's it. It
doesn't. I mean, at this point, like
it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Matter.
You know what? I would keep Archer because Mubama's more highly owned.
Right.
So if he doesn't start, then his price could drop.
I feel you. Right. So we still have 5.0 in the bank. Solid here so far. And I see 4-4-2 is very doable because I could always bench Anderson. But Anderson is one of those guys that will definitely come on, especially I mean, this looking way down the future, but especially for Champions League, when they want to rest certain players, Anderson will definitely be coming on. And that he'll be rotated for sure, but he'll be coming on. And he looked pretty decent in preseason. I don't know what you think about Anderson, Gabe, as a
I don't think you'll need to be saving money. I think you could if you go, you could maybe do a hybrid where you're rotating your fourth defender and your fifth midfielder if you want. I mean, you have 5 million in the bank, so you're pretty close to Salah if you want to get Salah. Game week 2 against Bournemouth is very tempting, or the other you know. But again, that's game week 2, right? So the other one, you know, player to consider is clearly, and this is the player that topped Mariner's captaincy metric. So at FPL Mariner, he does a captaincy metric. He's been doing it for several years now. It has a success rate of about 80%. In 80% of cases, it returns. And Rashford topped it above Holland for game week 1.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So Salah is a consideration and Rashford is a consideration. And then lastly, I, the question I would ask you is, how do you see the Arsenal midfield? Are you happy with Saka? You have Saka, Odegaard, Havertz, and Martinelli.
Yeah,
Some
and then
choices
of
to be made
course,
on that front.
yeah, no, yeah, I'm pleased. Again, I'm always very skeptical with Arsenal in the first three games, but as you rightfully said,
Hmm.
fixture-wise, very good. We looked solid against City. Wasn't bad. There was just a few party errors, and then when of course Trippier came on, but
Hmm.
that's me being a fan, all right. But but my main issue, as always, Gabe, as an Arsenal fan, are the goals. The goals are always my problem because we are
Mm.
always easily found out. But the addition of Rice, the addition of Partey, hopefully does not make us too defensive, and that hopefully could protect Odegaard, protect Saka, and they have the chance now to advance and play their natural way. That is my only concern. Goals. Saka's a great player, but you put 2 or 3 players on Saka, frustrate Martinelli. That's it. But I'm hoping even when that happens, it leaves room now for Odegaard to pop up with a wonder shot or wonder goal. But obviously, I want Saka to get those wonder goals, not Odegaard for now. But I am confident to a point. So 80% confident. 80%. It's just the goals. The goals is
So
the issue.
I think that's fair, and definitely what we've seen from Saka recently. I think Arsenal's purchases. Hey, FPL teachers in the house. Nice to see him.
Yeah, Phil teacher. Wow. Yeah, man. Thanks
Arsenal's
for coming through, man.
yeah. Just the way Arsenal have bought this summer, to me, it kind of like they've bolstered their left side from an
Mhm.
attacking perspective. I think Havertz is their most versatile player. He can be a
Yes.
9 or he can be an 8, right?
8.
Or he could be
Correct.
a 10, or he can be
Mm-hmm.
a 9.5. He can be so many things, right?
Same was saying. Correct.
And Martinelli, yeah, and Martinelli's their most advanced player up furthest up the field. So to me, I think Martinelli's my number one choice for Arsenal midfielder. But my second, and it's not a popular opinion, is Havertz. I like Havertz more than Saka.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but that's just me based on how they've purchased and a little bit of some patterns I saw in the Community Shield. But again, I don't hold to give that too much weight because
No.
it's a match against the league champions. They're not going to
Yeah.
play like that against everybody, right?
Correct. Correct.
Um,
Correct.
yeah, exactly. I agree with Mark Nelson. It's the versatility in Havertz, and so I think he can do so many different things that I think that the left side will be more active in and around the goal, and Odegaard and Saka will be combining more, maybe creating for that left side more than before. So, but that is an unpopular opinion, and it would be Havertz over Saka would be a differential way to go. But for me, it would be Martinelli first, and then +1 if you want. And if you didn't want the +1, you could do the +1 on the United side and bring Rashford in.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. So we are actually our team that we created on the show, the fans. We put our team in your league. So the YouTube channel league is in your team. Sorry, is in your league, and that we have Martinelli on that team actually. There is no Saka. We
Uh,
put Martinelli. Yeah. So I guess most of the panel agree with you on that one. And but the problem with Martinelli will get subbed off, and Trossard will come on. Saka is most likely to play the
mhm.
full 90. Right now, of course, that's not a big deal if Martinelli scores a brace before he comes off, or at least one goal before he comes off. Fine, or at least a goal and assist. But I'm just looking at full 90 minutes, and I think Saka will most likely play the full 90, unless things are going really
I do
bad.
agree with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And that's what
Right.
makes Havertz. Yeah, actually, everybody has trauma from picking Havertz last season,
Yeah,
but that's what
yeah,
makes him so
yeah.
exciting for me.
Exciting.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
people are seeing him at Chelsea.
That's it. That's it. This is a different. Yes, that's it.
Totally
The
different,
best
different
part of
role,
London.
different everything.
Yeah, better part of London. The air is better. Everything. Yeah, our stadium is better. Everything is better. So maybe that will influence his performance. But Gabe, now it's just one game. I don't like to judge a player for one game, but he had two clear cut chances on City. And we've seen it before at Chelsea. But at least he's taking the chances. He took it a little better. I will say that, if that makes sense. He took them a bit better than he would have if he was at Chelsea. Because he had those kind of chances at Chelsea and squandered them very badly. So, but as you rightfully say, I think it's not a bad shout. But for me, now, if I had to go a left from Saka, I'd rather go Martinelli. For sure. I'd rather Martinelli. But I'm happy with Saka. Of course, I want to talk about Eze. What you seen Eze there in my team there? Does he furrow your eyebrows, or you're comfortable with that?
No, I like Eze. Eze is a great pick. Yeah, you know, I mean, Sheffield United in the first game week. Sheffield United they're in a bad state, right? Like financially and the club culture, everything. They are not in a good place. So I think they're getting Sheffield United at a really vulnerable time. He's the talisman. He's on set pieces, penalties, everything. He's the creative hub. He's absolutely everything to this team. So I really like the pick. Again, spotted fixtures to start. I like that you have Matoma in there because of the flurry of shots and all of that. Like you have a bunch of money in the bank, so it's about deciding kind of like how much you need to spend if you want to change things up. So like based on what you've like the 6-5 is an interesting conversation, right? But so you have to think like which one of the 6-5s do you want to sell to bring in a player like Rashford or like Salah, even if you're interested. There's a question from teacher here.
Yes, he's asking about so he's saying, Laz, what are your opinions on starting with Jackson up top alongside Haaland and not Obama, sorry, and João Pedro? He's saying and João Pedro. So he's going 3-4-3.
I don't hate it.
Yeah,
I don't hate it. Jackson, but Jackson is such a raw talent, and in behind him is Chukwuemeka, and he's a raw talent. So that's a lot of raw talent, like kind of like right at the tip of the spear. So I'm just not sure about the balls getting to them. They're gonna have to rely, I think, a lot on diagonal balls, kind of like from James to Chilwell and that kind of stuff. I don't mind Jackson as a third forward if Kane is out. He's probably the best amongst a risky bunch, though.
Yeah. Well, look, Jackson has not proven anything yet. And then, of course, Mark is saying, Mark is a Chelsea fan, so I will trust anything Mark says, right? If Nkunku's play behind Jackson, then yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, there you have it. Yeah, thanks for that, teacher. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the guys coming through. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Really appreciate this. Of course, don't forget to go across to the Net.Hall page and like their recent video as well. I'll put that in the description. Right, thanks for coming through. This was a very impromptu video. Gabe, we was gonna just do a pre-recorded, but we decided to go live. So yes, because going through my draft. This is supposed to be my final draft, guys. I'm trying not to tinker anymore after this. I'm gonna press that save button and leave it alone. So if you have any ideas, any thoughts, and then of course Gabe is gonna show us his 2 drafts as well later on in the show. So as we're going through, so again, thanks guys for your input. Yes, Gabe, take it away again. Anybody? So what you're trying to do now, you're trying to convince me to bring in either Salah or Rashford.
I think that's your next step. Yeah. So
okay, let's do it. Let's find. So
which
sorry, not to cut you. So double United for you, Salah, Rashford and Bruno, Bruno Fernandes. No qualms there for you.
Saka and Bruno, no, those are perfectly reasonable picks. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How much is Rashford? Rashford 9?
9, yeah.
9. Okay. Now it's a straight swap. I could get rid of Anderson, and I could play my 3-5-2 if needed, I could easily play 3-5-2 here. The only issue is I could always the only issue there is who to drop. So do I downgrade one of my defenders to another 4.0 so that way I don't feel like I'm wasting any good potential on the bench and play 3-5-2? That's the question. because I like this. Right. So this is what we're looking at so far. Now, as I said, the best option here is 3-5-2. But who do I drop in the back? That's the question. Do I go to a Backstrom?
You said you think Arsenal concede.
You see, I gave it's just this is fair talking. It's not logical. It's not tactics. This is fair. I'm
It's
an Arsenal fan since 5 games, so
uh-huh.
it's just we are looking great. Don't get me wrong. We are looking great, but we can't concede. We can't concede. That is my only thing. We'll probably blow away Nottingham Forest, hopefully, but we have that potential of conceding. And look at last season. Last season was a great run. But we conceded almost every game, almost every, and it was not even just one goal, two, one. It was an average of 2 goals per game we were conceding almost every game last season. So that has me very iffy, very very iffy.
So you're a traumatized fan, and you're worried that you're gonna make FPL decisions from that place of trauma in your heart. Um, and I think that you've come to the point, Gerard, where this is the point where people start considering, well, what if I sell Trent and get like
Mm.
a 5-0? You can get 3 million from Trent and still have a good defender.
You see, okay, I Trent. For me, Trent has greater attacking potential now. The problem with Trent playing as a midfielder now, defense is not, as someone said in the comments rightfully, the defense with him conceding, what there's not going to be his issue anymore. He's not defending, he's more attacking now. Him and McAllister, right? So I just looking at the assist potential from him probably. If hope he's still on free kicks, right? So he's still on free kicks, that ball specialist corners. So that's what I'm looking at with Trent. Whereas yes, Gabriel, sorry, knocks in the odd goal here and there, the corner and whatnot. He could get the clean sheet points, but I'm just looking at the attacking potential. This is why Stones is there. Stones
Okay,
is not
so
there for his clean sheets. Stones is there for the odd goal that he's going to be scoring because he's been scoring recently.
right. So let's do that, like, because I like going down this argument when Trent defenders say, "Oh, it's not about the clean sheets." Okay, so let's take the clean sheets out of the equation. Who
Right.
attacks more, Diogo Jota or Trent Alexander-Arnold? Diogo Jota attacks more. He gets
Of
more
course,
goals.
of
He's in the
course,
box
of
more. He
course.
heads the ball. So why would you choose the inferior attacker if it's not about clean sheets?
All right. All right. Hey, as I said, this show, I am being
But
humble.
but
I
but if
rock
you
in
love
fact.
Trent, you got to go with Trent. Like I'm just saying, like this is like that this is where managers come and like, oh yeah, I could still have a good defender that attacks, like Shaw, for example, right? And get two and a
Mm,
half million
right,
from it.
right.
And maybe you don't want double United defense, and then you change Onana.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
even go
that's fine
cheaper.
too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you want Trent, you want Trent. If you just believe in Trent, then keep Trent in there. You can bring any of those. You can bring Estupinian down, for example.
Yeah. He's non-negotiable. Gabe,
Okay, he's
non-negotiable.
not
I'm
negotiable.
fighting now.
I
I'm
get it.
fighting
I
with
get
that
it.
one. Yeah, he's non. But it's when Trent finishes with Chelsea, right? It's a mixed bag, but it's not too bad, right? When he finishes with Chelsea, he has Bournemouth, Newcastle, Villa, Wolves, West Ham. So that patch, and now I know the middle patch a bit hairy, right? That Newcastle Villa patch. But after that, I'm not too, Wolves, West Ham. I'm confident there in his return. But if I'm,
Liver,
but yeah,
Li-
mm.
Liverpool's first clean sheet will be Wolves. Game week 5.
All right, Gabe, I'm listening. All right, so we get rid of Trent. We get rid of Trent. Now, do we go really, really low now with Trent? Because obviously, I want to try and play 3-5-2, right? That's the objective.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying Gabriel, Estupinian, Stones. Let's say that I leave that as my starting three, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad starting three because they have great fixtures going in, right? Not too bad. At least the first three, right? Then I downgrade all the way down to, I don't know, a Backstrom or nothing too extreme. Could even be Timber. Have Timber on the bench, or downgrade to, I don't know, what's a good decent downgrade you think in your head there?
Here,
Addition five.
I know you'll like Udogi. Spurs.
Oh, yes,
Very,
right,
very
right.
attacking. Very attacking.
Very, I can live with that. I can live with that.
This is your kind of player.
Or even Caldwell. It's Caldwell. Caldwell, forgive these pronunciations, sorry, from Chelsea as
Colwill,
well.
Chelsea.
Yeah, yeah.
Colwill.
But I'm
So
going Udogi.
he may lose his spot when Badiashile is healthy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So solid.
No,
Let's put this into context. Let's make the transfers. I want to see what it's looking like as the team is there. So let's just shimmy around a few things here.
mm-hmm.
All right. Let's put it into perspective. And let's click that save button, guys. All right, please. Make sure. All right. Okay. And I could follow my boy Mariner. I love Mariner. If Mariner say it's so, it's so. Right? Right? Follow Mariner. Because Gabe, I don't want Haaland. I've been very real with you. But I'm trying to play a little differently this year. I'm putting a mixture of me and a mixture of the template. If everyone doing the Haaland thing, fine. But I want to go against the captaincy of Haaland. That's my objective. That's my aim. That's my goal. Right? But we'll talk about Haaland in a bit. We'll talk about Haaland in a bit. So, all right. So looking at this now, Gabe, talk to me.
You have a lot of money in the bank.
Yeah, for sure. We have. Oh, I should have looked at that before I saved it. 4.0.
4.0. What's your plan?
4.0. Okay.
One of my drafts has 4 million in the bank, by the way.
Now, this is where we start to think, all right, who can I now upgrade, or am I super confident in my defenders? Yes, I am. Am I super confident in my goalkeeper? Once he doesn't get lobbed, once Podence not feeling, feeling and lobs him from half line, right? So I'm confident in my defense so far. I'm confident, right? Midfield, Rashford, great shout. And most of the templates I saw had Rashford, Bruno, Eze, Mitoma. Eze has great fixtures and he's in good form. So I'm happy with that. Mitoma, you can't go wrong with Mitoma. As you rightfully said, is the amount of shots he's going to be putting on, at least get 2, or maybe yes, assist João Pedro and score, assist Welbeck and score. I'll take that. I'm happy with Saka. Happy-ish with Saka, right? And then, of course, João Pedro and Haaland, those are non-negotiable, right, you would say. So I guess if I had to gun to my head, maybe Saka might be the one that is changeable. Maybe. And then Saka could give me a decent, he gives me good potential to go to someone very good as well. I don't know what you think they gave, but maybe Saka. Saka's the only person that maybe I don't mind not having. Maybe. Just maybe.
Okay. I think you need some kind of Arsenal attacking
representation
in a team. Yeah. But if that's the case, if you are happy with the team, the good news is nobody's putting a gun to your head. So that's so far life is good, right? And this is what, so in one of my drafts, right, I have 4 million in the bank. And FPL teacher says that 4 million in the bank turns not exactly Joao into Jota, but because they're different positions, but that's the idea, right? So in game week 2, Liverpool plays Bournemouth in game week 2, and that game is going to be crazy attacking, super wide open, right? With 4 million in the bank, you can go to you can move Eza, you can move any one of those midfielders, whoever you think is best to move for game week 2, to almost any Liverpool midfielder that you think will play that week.
Yes.
Right? Like say it looks like Luis Diaz is gonna start, and like, oh, you can move Eza to Luis Diaz. Say you want to get to Salah, you can move Saka.
Yes.
You'll need another 0.5 to move that there. But
correct.
Plan it So that's how I have it in my team. Like you can move Rashford if you wanted Salah because Rashford is away to Spurs in game week 2, for example.
Yes,
So you could go
yes,
Rashford to
yes,
Salah in game week 2.
yes.
So I think if that's what you're doing, because I'm a big fan of rolling a transfer in game week 2 to have 2 for game week 3.
Correct,
So
correct.
what I what I've done in my draft without Kane is rather than plan to roll in game week 2, I'm planning to roll in game week 3. So in game week 2, I'll use the 4 million to bring in a Liverpool player, whichever one I think is best in the moment. And then in game week 3, I'll roll the transfer because I'm already set up for game week 3. Fine, I won't need it. And in game week 4, I'll have 2 transfers. So I'm just delaying that rolled transfer to in order to maximize a fixture in game week 2. A lot of
Yeah.
people are just going automatically to no game week 2. You roll your transfers, so you have 2 in game week 3. I think by doing that, a lot of people are maybe missing the opportunity of getting a Liverpool player against Bournemouth in game week 2.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if we're looking at just game week 1, this is a strong team
Strong
to
side.
attack
Yep.
game week 1. Of course, you don't, as you rightfully said, game week 3 is so critical. You don't want to have now going into game week 3 with 1 transfer. You ideally want to tackle that with 2 transfers, especially if 2 or 3 of your assets already have to start taking a minus. So if 2 of your assets are already not hitting the ground running early o'clock, you really want to have that 2 transfers in the bank there. But
aside from your United players, all of your players are playing against teams that were either promoted this season or last season.
right, correct. That is why I
Solid
strategically
game week 1
really
team.
really try to put that in place. Really try to do that. Because I was using the again, I don't really use a lot of FDR charts, but I was looking at them, and as I rightfully said, most of these guys here are playing teams that were newly promoted. So that's why I tried to tackle it. I tried my best. Or if not newly promoted, they got promoted last season as well. So but like Nottingham and stuff like that. So that is what I tried my best to do here with this team. Really tried. To me, City probably have the trickiest fixture in terms of newly promoted. They probably are the only one
Oh,
that have
really
the most
quickly,
trickiest fixture.
I forgot to mention your backup goalkeeper.
Yes.
Turner just signed for Forest. So you probably just want to
Yes.
bring him in.
Yeah. Well, we did that in on the team on the show last night for sure. Right, so let's take a slight tangent now, and Gabe, we'll go through your team to discuss your thoughts and what your thought process is. All right.
Cool.
So I think I like how you did it, by the way. I like how you captioned it. So let's go. So according to Gabe, he has a Kane draft and a no Kane draft. So this is the no Kane draft. All right. Now, even the no Kane draft still has a Spurs representative. That stood out for me. So I would like you to break that down first. But of course, take your time from goalkeeper up to the top. Gabe, take it away, your thought process for picking your team. So this is Gabe's team. I want to say what, draft 1? Gabe, is that a fair? Not draft 1, but you know what I mean. Draft 1.0.
No Kane. No, this is it's not okay.
Yeah, right.
So this draft is without Kane, assuming Kane signs for Bayern in the next 12 hours or so.
Right.
Then and does this go out as a podcast? Do I have to read out the team, or should I just go into the picks? I don't know.
You can go into the
Just
picks. Go into
right?
the picks. That's fine. Yeah. No,
Okay.
let's trade YouTube.
So
Straight YouTube.
Pickford and Turner are my goalkeepers. If I do need Turner, if Forest shows something other than they've shown in preseason, and I need to use Turner, then it falls when Pickford has difficult matchups. So that's kind of an obvious rotation. I think Johnstone is a good choice as well. I think Flecken, once Brentford figure their things out, I think Flecken's going to be a really good goalkeeper this season. Probably the goalkeeper I get on my wild card, to be honest.
Okay.
So, but I went for Pickford to start the season. Saliba, I don't know. I like the fact that he's lower owned. He's probably just as nailed as Gabriel. And what I like about Saliba is I just think he's played better than Gabriel in the past season when he's been healthy. But that could be Gabriel. I don't have strong feelings about that one. Stones and Chilwell are the other two defenders. I think Chilwell could take advantage of the hitting Liverpool's right side as Trent inverts into midfield if that happens. So I still think it's an okay matchup against Liverpool, and they have great fixtures moving forward. And in terms of Chelsea, I just find that Reece James holds back a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more, and Chilwell is up and near the box more.
But do
So
you
that's why I went with that
not
pick.
not to cut you? I was now going to bring up Reece James. Do you think him being captain now influences anything at all? Changes anything at all? Him being captain?
No, no.
Okay, all right. Because I'm
He
thinking
might
it
be on
might dry.
pens. I'm not sure who's on pens with Nkunku down. I wonder if Reece James is on penalties. He might be.
Ooh,
I don't know.
yeah.
So that's my back three, and I have
Mm-hmm.
Udogi and Cabaret on the bench.
Right.
Thoughts so far on that back line?
No, solid. I understand why it went Saliba. Yeah, Stones again. As I said, I love Stones because Stones has decent scoring output, and maybe he might be the
Mm-hmm.
most nailed for now. I would have to see how Gavidol
Mm-hmm.
fits in the team, but for now, I think Stones at least up to game week 3 should be nailed. So I'm not too worried. Pep roulette is the worst, but yeah, and solid on Chilwell. Yeah,
It's always
Chilwell, of
risk.
course, good attacking output from Chilwell for sure.
Yeah, I love that. So midfield five. I'll start with Madison.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like so FPL teacher who's in the chat wrote this phenomenal article on how Ange Postecoglou. I'm not sure if it's Postecoglou or Postecoglou, but how he designs his attack, and the designs just look so good for Madison to be in so many attacking opportunities.
Mm,
And they had an easy preseason, but in that preseason they showed that they could do what Postecoglou was asking them to do.
right.
And so they generated in 3 games, they generated 104 shots and 45 shots on target. So I really like the potential for the attacking output. And after United in game week 2, I like the Brentford fixture for game week 1. I think Brentford are still struggling to start the season, like we mentioned. So I think it's
Yes.
a great game week 1 fixture. Game week 2 against United is not ideal, obviously, but it is home, so that's
Yes.
something. And then after
Yeah.
that, it just opens up. It's
Yeah.
fantastic
Bournemouth,
fixture. So
Burnley,
Madison's
Sheffield.
kind of
Yeah.
nailed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So and that'll be a theme of this draft is I'm set up for game week 3 and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
So I can make that transfer in game week 2 and then roll in game week 3 because I already have the players set up. Bruno Fernandes, I think, could be the best value player for United. Rashford may score more, but I can't get the 0.5 million to get
Ah,
to him. And Bruno has pens, so he's 0.5 cheaper and on pens. So I find
yes.
that the value is there. Havertz, I spoke about his versatility. I think he's going to be just a key piece to this Arsenal team, regardless of what tactic they're taking in
Right.
a game. Mitoma, I love the Mitoma and João Pedro double up for the first 3 fixtures. I think attacking Brighton hard for those 3 fixtures could like really yield some positive results and be a way to differentiate because Mitoma is quite highly owned and so is
Yeah.
João Pedro now.
Correct.
So I think having both, like having that double up, I think is the way to go to be a little bit different. And then I was on double Arsenal mid for a long time, but I went with Rashford because of Mariners metric. Top Mariners
Yeah.
metric. Wolves have no manager. Teacher will tell you in the chat they are in trouble. Having to travel to Old Trafford is just such a tough
Yeah.
ask. I think there's a solid case to captain Rashford. I would not be opposed to that.
Yeah.
And then my darling, João Pedro and Holland up top. João Pedro, when I brought João Pedro in, he was less than 2% owned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
he's getting the recognition, but I'm
Yes.
sorry. It sucks that forwards had to go down and it made the front line more template.
My template. Yeah.
And I put on my bench, I put Balogun in there because I don't know. I'm just getting some vibes
Okay.
that West Ham might buy him, that somebody might buy him, and I don't want to. So that's kind of like a punt. If I'm going to take a punt on a 4-5 forward, I could go Archer, who might get playing time. I could go Mubama, who might get playing
Right.
time.
Right.
Or I could go Balogun, who might get bought and then will be a full-time starter.
And Neil
So
don't start, so correct.
So I'm betting on that for that
Mhm.
position.
Okay. Yeah. Now, should I get you upset now or upset later? Because I have a question I want to ask you. You brought up something, and I said, "Oh, wait," but you brought it up again, right? Can I upset you now?
Yeah, upset me, please. Hurt me.
I had, I had a crazy captain thought. I would like to know if he ever made the metric, right? Levin had a crazy captain thought. Right now, you're saying Rashford playing against Wolves. Wolves. I think Wolves just appointed a manager. If not yesterday, it was earlier today. They appointed a manager. I can't
did
remember
they?
the name of the guy. Yes, they did appoint a manager. Right now, I was thinking João Pedro as a captain shout, a wild captain shout. No, I may not do it, but I'm just think I was like, oh, that is very tempting as a wild captain shout, João Pedro. Decent fixture. First three games, just in the first game, game week 1, Captain João Pedro. Gabe, talk to me. I will not do it, but it's
Man.
very tempting. It's very tempting as a wild shot.
You're like in like the hero's journey at the end, there's like the call of the sirens, that temptation that can lead you into the rocks and derail your hero's journey, and you don't make it to the end. You don't pass the level. That's what you are right now to me, because I've been in love with João Pedro for a month, and now you're like, "Ooh, captain him?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, captain." I'm saying everything inside is saying yes. But I know in my head is like that's
it's
absolutely insane, and I really like it just because I'm predisposed to
but
like it.
Gabe is like a Sunday in Trinidad where you had no plans, but you open the window and you're like, oh, beautiful sun, birds chirping. You know what? Today's a good beach day. They're playing Luton. That is your sunshine.
Man.
That is your sunshine. Right now, Luton have made a few signings, yes, and whatnot. But bro, that it's very tempting because I think, as I said, of the 3 promoted teams, I think Burnley. I'm not saying they're gonna win. City are gonna run over them, of course, but I think of the teams, Burnley are gonna be the most resistant on that opening day, and I am very tempted. But of course, the Rashford captain, great shout, no brainer. Wolves are in shambles right now, shambles. So yeah, that's a no brainer.
So
But I
Wolves
just want to do that.
appointed O'Neill.
Yes.
The former Bournemouth coach. So
Yes.
they're probably not going to be very good defensively.
No.
Man, I gotta say, I think Mitoma and João Pedro are legit captain shouts in game week 1. If I extend it, if I look at Mitoma, if I'm like, am I biased in favor of João Pedro? Yes. So that's why I'm saying yes for João Pedro. But when I look at Mitoma, I'm not biased in favor of Mitoma, and I think he's a legit captain shout for the same reasons. They're gonna take a million shots.
Gabe, thank you very much. I taken that. Ready for the next team? Next draft?
Let's see.
Yes, let's look at the Keane draft now. Right? Let's look at the Keane draft now. All right. So the Keane
draft. Sorry, this one came from a different platform.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So the Keane draft. So it literally just Keane. So all you have to explain really is Keane, because you kept mostly everyone has said that you just had to change your goalkeeper really. But other than that, you brought in Onana. You brought in Onana.
I get a goalkeeper upgrade, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I lose Rashford.
Yes.
That's the price. That's the price for Kane.
Yeah.
Pickford to Onana, and Rashford's gone and Kane's in. Yeah, go ahead.
No. Just how is this team not? You sure you're not minus 5 or something? How is this? Wow, because I'm looking at the price points. Oh, this is crazy. You have to do all my finances for next month. I'm giving you my budget, my salary, everything next month. You gotta do my finances for next month when salary comes in. Wow. Haaland, João Pedro, Keane, Bruno, Matoma, right? Then, well, Stones asleep at 5-5 when I was 5. Jeez, and you still have a decent bench. Your bench is not terrible or super fodder. Your bench is not super fodder, by the way, so it's not bad. Not bad at all. You still have three playing, three players are going to play. The keepers, you only, wow. Yeah.
14 well, it'll be obviously the backup goalie will be
Yeah.
Turner, so it'll be
Yeah.
I'll have 4 bench players that are all starters.
Yeah. That's brilliant. No Archer, no Obama, it's just
No trash, and Kane and Holland. I think
that
Kane
is
and Holland will
crazy.
be fighting for the golden boot
Yeah,
from the very beginning. I think they're going to
from the
take off.
beginning.
It'll be them too. So I want a piece of them maybe all season.
If Kane does sign for Bayern, what's your plan?
The other draft.
The other draft. There's no draft
And
where you
I'll be
go.
a little bit bummed. I love this
Right.
draft. It's my favorite
Yeah.
draft.
This is a great draft. I love this draft. Actually, yeah, I'm tempted, but I may take some notes from this on one of my I have a scout team I normally use. I may take some notes on this. I like, especially that your bench is not just further. I love the fact that your bench is not just all right, fine, any 4.0 and leave it there like that. I really like this team. This is a great game week 1 team as well. It attacks the fixtures really, really well too. Yeah. Yeah, Gabe. This is a brilliant team. No, aside from Rashford and Haaland, who else was in like in the top 5 or so for captain picks? From, if you remember off the top of your head from metric, if not 5, we just have like 2 more from the metric, if you remember.
Actually, I can bring it up real quickly.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
You
I'll
can share your
bring up the
screen.
metric here just to,
Yeah. Because that is interesting. Rashford over Haaland by many, by a lot, by a mile. Gabe?
No, it's. I mean, Rashford is. Yeah, I'll share my screen.
Sure.
Rashford is up there, but it depends on
Because that is very interesting to me. Again, of course, it's fixture influence, right? It's fixture influence.
Yeah.
So Wolves in your top pick to get relegated this season.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wolves. I mean, Wolves, Luton, and Sheffield United.
Okay. Wolves, Sheffield.
So Rashford top. You see the names on the left, player, and then team.
Right.
And if you go to the right, the second last column from the right, metric. That's the score of the captaincy metric. So we see Rashford at 86, Holland at 80, Bruno Fernandes at 80, and Kane at 80. Now we can do some different, like what we did on the show is we changed. So see, like we have here minutes, hauls, returns, points, right? So if we expect like more minutes from like minutes, Holland 65 minutes. If we put that to 90, he goes above Rashford.
Right.
But then if we put Rashford to 90 as well, he goes back up. So and you can, like let's see. So you can mess with the points a little bit, but yeah. So we have Rashford, Holland, Bruno Fernandes, Kane, Salah, Mbomo, which is really interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Wilson, De Bruyne. Saka's not even on here. Saka's after Martinelli.
Yeah. Martinelli's there. Funny that March is there. A lot of people were telling me they rather March than Mitoma. A lot of people were giving me that as a few people I spoke to. They rather March, and they were saying his output might be a little more. And I'm like, maybe, but I like the chances that Mitoma gets. But to me, Mitoma gets way more chances. I said flurry of shots. So I'm more comfortable with Mitoma. Yeah.
Mitoma's closer to goal. He just plays closer to goal. And March, the problem with March is Brighton signed Mohamed Kudus from Ajax,
Yes,
and he'll take March's spot. I wonder if actually March gets moved back to right back, which is his natural position.
is a natural position, correct. And the thing with Matuma, now, of course, we are not playing this for our players to get assist points game, but the way Matuma runs at players, the odd penalty, we get the assist point for that. And then João Pedro scores. Great day. Great
Yeah,
day.
great day, great day. Yeah, at the beach.
our captain João Pedro scores.
Oh man, I'm in trouble.
Haaland, Haaland comes off in the 60th minute, no goals, and Cole Palmer comes on. That's a brilliant day. Brilliant day, Gabe. That
João Pedro hits a brace, gets a pen, gets a assists
oh,
Matoma.
now you're overdoing
Matoma
it
wins the
now.
pen by dribbling into the box and drawing the foul.
Drawing the foul, so assist points there. Brilliant. And then he assists
Yeah.
the second goal of João Pedro's brace. That's an ideal
It's
day.
gonna be good times, Gerard. It's gonna be good times.
Clean sheet points because the midfield keeps the clean sheet. So let's say they win 2-0, 3-0. I will take that. That's a brilliant day. That's a beautiful scenario. But back on earth, back to earth. So of course, it will make sense to captain Haaland or Rashford, according to this. But with you, before you saw this game, you were going straight to Haaland, obviously.
Yes, I was. Yeah. And mostly I just
It was a great scenario.
I will too, Mark. We're all gonna scream in that moment. We might have to jump on a live stream if that happens.
Immediately. Oh my goodness.
But I told myself last season that look, I hate captaincy and I hate
Right.
EO. So
Yes.
I'm going to put both of those poisons together and then forget about it. So my captain is going to be the high EO pick. If Holland is 180%, then Holland is my captain.
Right.
And I will differentiate everywhere else. I'll differentiate with Havertz. I'll differentiate by having double Brighton. I'll differentiate in these different ways rather than on my captaincy.
Yes. I get you. That makes sense.
But I love the idea of a João Pedro captaincy. So we can keep chatting about that for sure.
Oh my God! Hey, I tell don't be surprised, no, Gabe. You see me, I tweet out there, and but you all heard it here first, Captain João Pedro, right? Which that'll be crazy. That'll be crazy. I'll be watching that game with high anticipation. All right.
Yeah,
so well, we're coming near to the close there. I don't want to keep Gabe back in any longer, but I want to thank we had a great comment section pumping here. I want to thank Gabe so much for coming through. We did our first episode of the season last night, so you can check that out as well. And of course, I have some shorts, some funny shorts as well on the our YouTube shorts you can check out. Last night, Gabe, while doing this show live, I was doing a fan tracks draft as well. So that was a bit hairy and tricky. It was
so
really
we did a show live. Same thing. We did a show live yesterday, the Roast My Team, and it was myself, Nima, Praz, and Tom from Cantwell from W who got the assist. And all three of them were in the same draft room doing a draft live. and so there were times where like everybody was checking out, and I'm like, I'm not in any draft rooms.
No, it was very hectic. It's not fun. I would not recommend shooting. And oh my gosh,
I would not like that.
The auto pick gave me, because I missed a turn because I was speaking, and the auto pick gave me Jesus, and I was like, but you have 16 players, so it's not too bad, and we could just put him down there. So, but it was a bit hairy. I could tell you really quickly, just for Jones, just now. So just for kicks, right? This is my team on my fan tracks, right? Just for kicks, because I found it very hilarious, the kind of players that I got, right? Because I was like, oh, it was very, as I said, it was very, very, very tricky to try and do that and also pay attention. So I did end up getting Ramsdale. I got Mitoma. I ended up putting in so Ramsdale, Mitoma. So I was very happy with those, right? Of course, people already went with the Haaland and the Sakas and the De Bruyne. So Ramsdale, Mitoma. Then of course I had Listen, let me just do this really quickly so I can show you. Right, so Ramsdale
What are
Mitoma,
you
I
gonna
had
do when
Adebayo.
Ramsdale loses his
Call,
spot?
yeah, well, hopefully. No, I think he's safe for up until game week 3. I think so. You don't think so, Gabe?
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah, for a
wow.
little while. But
Oh, wow, Gabe. That does not give me confidence. That doesn't give me any
he's
confidence at all.
Raya starts as soon as he's signed.
Wow, Gabe. That is harsh. You really think so?
I mean, Ramsdale might get a week just out of respect.
Right.
Maybe like what's an easy game? Like he'll get Forest, obviously.
Wow.
I forget who Arsenal plays. He'll get Forest. I don't know. I don't know if he gets Palace away if if Raya signs this weekend.
Ramsey will not be happy about that. I'll tell you that right off the bat. He will not be happy.
Yeah.
Right. So this is my team really quickly. So my draft, my fan track team. So I have Ramsdale, Caldwell, Stones, Timber, Decore, right? Douglas Luiz,
Yeah, I like
Gabriel
Doucouré.
Martinelli. Yeah, of course. You know I love Decore. Decore is one of my favorite players, right? So Decore, Douglas
Yeah.
Luiz, Gabriel Martinelli, Matoma, Rodri, right? Then up top,
Uh-huh.
Adebayo and Garnacho. My bench is Nick Pope, Rico Henry, Anderson from Newcastle, McGinn from Aston Villa, and then Jesus. The autopic gave me Jesus, which was not nice. So that's my fan tracks team. That's a terrible, terrible team. Nice mixed bag.
You just need some forwards. Maybe you can make a trade or
Yes,
something.
yes, yeah. Well,
I
I
like
have
I
two
like to.
goalkeepers.
Okay. I like to. You're able to like sub players in until kickoff, right?
Yes, correct,
In
correct.
Fantrax, I
5 minutes
like to
before.
own 5 minutes before. In Fantrax, I like to own city players that get rotated,
Ah,
and then
okay,
you
I
just sit
catch
them.
you.
You sit rotated players if you can play that game, and then you throw them in there, and you have this cheap little dynamite that comes in every once in a while.
Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a really good shout. I like that. All right. Well, I'm Gabe. We're coming to the end. If you want to just give any last piece of advice, anything at all before we jump off.
Yeah, don't leave your decisions like for tomorrow, and like have your set plan, because there's just so much chatter, there's so much noise, and it's easy to get to lose oneself, become unmoored from the game we're really trying to play. So if you want to play, to the way to play your own way is to not let yourself be swept away by the current of chatter as it gets more intense as we get to deadline. So have a clear idea, trust in it, and have fun with it, with your idea, even if it is wrong.
Yeah, fully agree. And of course, guys, please, please, please click that save button. Do not forget. You're going to pick your team. You're going to put your captain on Haaland, and then you're going to walk away. And then when you open when you open that app tomorrow after deadline, you're going to see the captain on Gabriel Jesus or the captain on SA. Please, 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 please. I'm begging you. And of course, click a few other buttons. Go across to that whole page, click the subscribe button. Go, of course, take a look at their recent videos. I said they have a very nice series where they're doing a Roast My Team series. Very awesome. And of course, you can check out the metrics from Mariner as well in the previous episodes. You were very busy in the preseason, Gabe. I must say, you were very, very busy.
Yeah, we've been going for over a month now. It's this is like Mariner's busy time, updating all the metrics,
Right.
coming up with all the data and all of that. And now that we head into the season, it's like matchups. It's we all the data is all set. Then it's my busy time with the analysis and stuff like that. So yeah, it's happy to have that flurry be over, but it was also an exciting time. I love preseason. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Preseason is the best, of course, is the ultimate. And it was, to me, for some reason, it was better this time. It was really good. I normally don't put a lot of stock in preseason, but it was really good. It was really good, and I think it helped pick a really good team and pick the best assets as well too. And I think the price points kind of help it as well. The price points weren't as terrible as previous years. Just Alan early without 14. That's the only thing that I think shifted everything. Yeah. Well, all right. So I just want to thank everyone
Yeah.
in the comment section. I want to thank my good friend Gabe, no longer a guest, great friend to this show as always. Thanks for always making time for. What time is it right now, Gabe? Right now, what time is it?
It's about 1:30.
Oof, and it's now 4:27 here, right? So, all right, thanks again, guys. Don't forget like, share, subscribe. Look out for content on both of our channels. Look out for maybe a draft show. I might rope in Gabe again after the transfer window. We like to do a draft, so I'll rope in Gabe once Gabe is free, and we do a live draft again, and we try to see it out for the rest of the season. All right, so take care and look out for more content, guys. And of course, happy picking. May your captain score a hat trick. May your keeper keep clean sheets, and may your midfielder get a hat trick of assists. And we'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.
Peace.